Welcome to Mirror Domains, and on today's show we're going to be doing some movie reviews. One for Fantasy Island, something called Horse Girl that just came out on Netflix, and Sonic the Hedgehog review. Now, one of these movies I liked, the other one was meh, and the other one I think is a contender for one of the worst movies of the year. Can you guess which one goes with what? Let's talk about them. Hello, my name is James and welcome to Mirror Domains. And yes, on this show we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and his design and his take at the box office. We're also going to be talking about Fantasy Island that came out over the weekend and actually made a fairly decent amount of money at the box office. And then we're going to talk about this Netflix movie that came out that everybody's talking about called Horse Girl. That one I'm not too sure about. I don't think a lot of people are going to like that one. It's kind of an obscure film that has to deal with this girl that's really weird, man. Like, totally weird. And not in a good way. From Alison Brie, who is in that TV show you might know as Glow. But first up, let's talk about Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island was directed by Jeff Wadlow and stars Lucy Hale, Maggie Q, and Michael Pena as Mr. Rourke. And this has been based off of the that 80s TV show where you go to this island and you live out your fantasies and such like that. And if you are familiar with that show, sometimes some of the episodes can get rather weird. And this movie is a bit weird. Well, it comes from Blumhouse, so you know that they're known for a little bit of that horror take. And the trailers, when I reacted to the trailers for this, it really did give off that kind of horror vibe, which did catch a lot of people's attentions. So with that in mind, I would say it's definitely worth checking out just to see what they were doing with this property. But it gets kind of convoluted. When somebody says there's a convoluted plot out there, this movie defines what a convoluted plot is, because it takes place with all of these people that go to the island, and then they try to make it so that their fantasies all have something to do with each other. And that is not spoiling anything, but it's just kind of like, why was that necessary? And then it just kind of stretches so much towards the third act. And the conclusion, it tries to pull a fast one on you. And you're just kind of like, on the plus side, Michael Pena as Mr. Rourke, I felt like he did a good job. I felt like he did a fantastic job. But, as much as people say that they like Lucy Hale and Maggie Q, for me, one of the standout actresses was Portia Doubleday. I never heard of her before, so I had to look her up, and she does a fantastic job in this movie. The acting is okay. It's got some okay payoffs, but it's one that you kind of, I would say for Cheap Tuesday, I would go see this or just catch it when it's on Blu-ray. I would have to give this one just a marginal pass. 6 out of 10 for Fantasy Island. And tattoo, the way they work in tattoo in this one. Let me know in the comments below, because I'm really curious about that if you've seen it. And I would like to talk some spoilers with you in the comments below. And we'll get to it like that. All right, so moving on. We're going to talk about this Horse Girl that everybody's been talking about from Netflix. And this, I guess, only pertains to you guys out there who have Netflix. I didn't know too much about it other than the fact that it had this actress, Alison Brie, and I never watched Glow. So I've been told that it's been good and I should see it. But it's about this girl who's kind of off and has these weird dreams and visions about sort of maybe alien abduction. So that got me interested. I was kind of like, well, that's kind of a cool idea. And then you watch the first act and you realize, no, it's not. This girl has problems with perceiving reality. And she's just weird. And you don't know that until she's visiting this horse. And you don't know if she really owned the horse or what's going on with it. She's just attached to it. And she's just off. And I guess they're trying to make a point about mental illness and mental illness awareness. So I can kind of commend it for that. I just can't get behind the story, though, because it tries to be a little too art house towards the end. Maybe a little bit creepy, too, with that kind of under the skin vibe, but it never really goes fully to that extent. And it's just more about her just going crazy, more or less. Some of the acting in it was pretty good, though. She did a fairly good job of this. Alison Brie. Molly Shannon is in this. I think you would recognize her. And Debbie Ryan. I felt like she did a fantastic job. I'm really curious to see a lot of work from her. More upcoming and such. Horse Girl on Netflix. I can't recommend it. I can't even give this a 5. I would give this a 4.5 out of 10 for Horse Girl. Okay. Just something quick. I just want to interject here. They did release an image from Venom 2. Now, I am following the project, and Tom Hardy over the weekend released an image of Woody Harrelson playing Cletus Cassidy. And I was really interested to see it because at the end of the first Venom, we saw him with this god-awful wig that just looked like it fell off the wagon, and they just kind of like dusted it off and slapped it on his head. In this picture here, I'll put up, it does look like it's a little bit more coiffed. It looks a little bit more natural. And there was a video released of a small clip of him in action, but I'm not going to post that because I don't want to get striked or anything like that. You just got to see that he's kind of got like that bad guy gangster look to him. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Obviously, we don't see the symbiote on him right there. It's just like, okay, all right, that's it. That looked okay. But let's talk about this final movie review I wanted to get to today, called Sonic the Hedgehog, which I was actually very surprised to see because I wasn't expecting that much of it. I think most of us were expecting it to be a dumpster fire. This movie, they released the first trailer. We saw that Sonic just looks so weird, man. And you can see all the comparison videos out there and the snapshots, and you're just kind of like, yeah, they changed the eyes for the better. And I like that. It's a kid's movie, though, straight up. It's got a very juvenile sentiment to it. It's not like a Marvel movie where it appeals to both adults and kids alike. I mean, I guess the only adults that would really find this fascinating are people who played the game just to see how this has been realized. But it does have a lot of kid humor and story execution. Like things just happen like that without much explanation. But I'll tell you this, it's not that bad. And Jim Carrey in this is a real standout. This is like a true classic return to form for Jim Carrey, as the bad guy, Eggman. He just has so many fun scenes in it that you could tell he's just having fun with it. There's some really good interactions between Sonic and the James Marsden character, the sheriff guy. And it's just got a very simple message about, becoming who you are and helping your friends. So I kind of like that part of it. And will there be a sequel? I'm not too sure. Sonic they're saying that they have made 70 million for the 3-day long weekend here. I think it was like 56 for the 2 days actually, but they're giving 70 for the full 3 days. And you know what? I can't complain about that. That's really shocking. It's one of the highest, if not, I think it is the highest for a video game movie premiere ever. So that's really fascinating, and I'm glad that people are reacting as well to this as they are, because that just means, hey, you know what? Maybe they're finally understanding something about this video game movie thing that, they're listening to the fans. They took some of our criticisms and they made him better. And he does look better for sure. Sonic the Hedgehog, I would have to give, now, as I said, it's about middle of the road. It's good. It's quality. I would give it a 7 out of 10 for Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, that's just pretty much the way I saw the movies this weekend, and I wanted to share that with you guys. This is a video that I think is normally going to try to be out on Mondays. I thought about it for Sundays, and I just feel like, well, maybe I won't get around to all the movies that come out on the weekend. Usually it's only one or two that I will see, and then I will want to review. But I do want to talk about some of the box office, so I want to wait till at least some time on Sundays to get some of the numbers, just to see how well people have reacted to it. Like if it's been a monumental bomb, sort of, those things have conversation value to them. But yeah, out of these three, what did you think? And what did you guess was one of the ones that I liked? It was Sonic. The one that I felt was mediocre was obviously Fantasy Island. And one of the worst movies of the year that I would say would be Horse Girl. Because it's just, yeah, once you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you see it, I would say don't bother. All right, that's it. That's the kind of day that it's been for movie news, entertainment news, and let me know what you felt about some of these topics in the comments below. All right, YouTube is recommending a video for you to watch right there, and you can see my latest one just right up here. My name is James, and you're watching Mirror Domains. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe right there.